Alright. Here we go with part 2 of the Way of the Fuel Blocks. I'm joined by my second in command, Mr. Imperial Guard.
Yo.
One of my line members, Mr. Connor.
Hello, back again. Thank you.
Yes, he was here for the first one. Starts taking a bit to get the second one going, but you know, life is a bitch.
We did say a few days, but it's been a month, so
It's
we
been a
apologize
month.
for that.
You know, life happens, as so it is. So in this video here, we're going to be covering what I like to call crunch planets. And so everything for the first one that we saw is that we were collecting materials, right? We showed you how to set up extractors on the various planets and the special configuration that needed to be set up in, as well as turning those raw materials into P1, which is kind of what that whole setup is meant to do. And in this setup, we're going to be converting the P1 products into P2 products. So essentially, we're going to be harvesting all those equipments, and we're going to start converting them into the next tier of materials that we need to start producing fuel blocks. And this is what I like to call crunch planets, which is basically just a shorter and fancier name for production planets. And basically what they're going to do is they're going to take all these materials that we've been mining, and we're going to process them. We're going to show you how to inject them into the orbital skyhooks or POCOs if you have them available nearby. The interface and UI for them are pretty much the same. And so, you know, you kind of mix and match. But we are going to show how this process occurs, because it's a pretty cool little process. And yeah, we're gonna just slowly start getting all this shit set up. For this system that we're inside of, we're going to be utilizing 5 different planets. We're going to be utilizing 2 barrens and 3 temperate planets. Now, why barrens and temperates? Well, as far as it goes for production purposes, they're the most viable because you got the most CPU and power grid available for the planet, specifically for production, as opposed to like a lava planet and, you know, a full ice planet or a storm planet. You got just a little bit less, and we want obviously more because we want to be able to put a few more facilities down.
It's more habitable.
Yeah, essentially it's more habitable for your dudes to be building stuff, you know, on barren and temperate planets. And, you know, the little role player in me wants to make sure that, you know, they're at least living somewhere nice, right?
Remember you said you were a visual person, that's why I threw that in.
I'm a very visual person. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get in our nice little epithal here. You can see it's all nicely painted with a nice spirit skin. And we are going to set up. So like I said before, back in the old days when you used to have to do this stuff, you actually had to fly to every single planet in order to be capable of dropping the command centers. Now, you don't really need to. So we're just going to undock. We're going to just stop our ship right here. Gonna go to our little PI tab. We're gonna actually expand this one a little bit so we can see which are the barren planets, so that we can go to the right planets. And this isn't showing us barrens as it used to show us last time, so fuck that. Thankfully, I have a nice little spreadsheet. So we are going to be utilizing planet 3, planet 2, 5, 6, and 7. So let us go to planet 2 and view its planetary industry. I'm actually going to do a little bit easier bit here, and we're actually just going to add these to the overview in general. So we can do this a little bit more streamlined. We're going to press this little view industry button and bam. So unlike before, we don't really need to concern ourselves so much where, you know, resource placement is, because we're not doing extracting. We can just kind of place it wherever the fuck we want. In this case, I kind of just want it wherever the planet pops us in at. So it pops us in there. We're just going to go ahead and dump our command center right there on the block. We're going to submit. We're going to max upgrade this son of a, and bam.
Done.
Next, we're going to start setting up our little planet here. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to set up 2 of them because we're going to have a double chain going on. And now the reason why I suggest you doing a double chain, especially when you have command upgrades 5, is that the facilities and the amount of materials I'm going to be putting in here, it's going to be a lot for just one spaceport. So I usually find, because I don't really want to use storage facilities because they take so much, fitting, that I don't really enjoy having it. So, you know, fuck that.
Will make it quicker if you've got none of that as well.
Yeah, because you get so these things have a maximum amount of cubic meters, and if you start doing storage facilities on the side, you're going to have to spend time, and you can only move stuff every hour and a half. So it's like, why bother, you know? It's like, it just doesn't make sense to have to keep looking at this thing over and over and over again. So I prefer not to. So because we're making advanced stuff, so you can see here, this is the one that we were using on the original raw to P1 planets. It was basic industries. We're going to be using advanced industries, which is going to make T2 and T3. So again, we want to make this stuff as tight as possible to these structures. And the reason why we want that is because we want to make the links, which are essentially roads, to be a lot shorter, because the longer the roads are, the more thing you're going to take. It's also noted that we aren't going to be connecting these facilities to the command center. It doesn't need to be done. That's something kind of I noticed one of my corp mates was doing with their setup, is that they had this notion that the command centers needed to be linked as well. They do not. They are a separate thing, and as far as I'm concerned, only certain people are living in these things. Everyone else is pretty much living in the factories.
Radio contact only.
Exactly. You know.
But JD, can I just say, if people have watched the first video, well, I was a complete noob to this when we started, but I followed that video after we made it, and I did it all, and it was a tedious 2-hour, 45-minute process. But once you've got that, you gain some knowledge, and now I understand what you're doing here a lot better. So this is actually good for new people doing this.
Yeah, that's the whole point. We try to make it so that we can streamline these processes as easy as possible, and that essentially is the problem with Eve in a nutshell, is that when you kind of start looking at everything, as you know, especially as a new player, it's just so fucking overwhelming. And I understand why there's such a hard problem getting people to do stuff like PI and stuff like, you know, just kind of getting out there. And I understand the trepidation.
We were saying this earlier about my pal not getting into EV. He knew it was too much. Like,
yeah, and it's a shame because it really is a fun game.
Yeah.
It's technical enough for people that want to be able to play technical games, and you know, it's not as technical as people make it out to be, because it doesn't really come off as super technical at the end of it.
When you've been showing it step by step, it's nice and easy, you know what I mean? But I mean, when as a newcomer, you just look at you like, what the fuck is that, man?
Right. So you can see I have no real design. The only thing that I'm really trying to keep is that we have lines going, and I'm going to show you kind of what I mean by lines. So this is our central point here. You can see there's going to be a connector here, there's going to be a connector here. This one splits into a little branch system here. Same thing with this, there's a little branch system here. Because essentially we don't want to have this, I don't want this station connected to this station, I don't want this one connected to that, I don't want any of that stuff. I want everything to be one straight line that funnels everything into the launch pads. So here now we're going to start linking everything together. You can see I'm following that little series that I set up. You know, you don't have to follow this exact setup, but this just kind of gives you an idea of kind of why you want to have everything set up in lines and why you don't want to have everything interconnected. You can also see I still have plenty of room to drop some more stuff down, so let's continue dropping some more advanced facilities. So lately, apparently they've started dropping quality of life stuff, which I am fucking thankful for. Like, for instance, templates is one thing they did, which is beautiful. So what we're going to do actually is that once we're done this setup here, once all the schematics have been installed and everything, we're going to save this template. And then we're just going to copy and paste this across all the other planets. Before this quality of life stuff, which got released, I believe, in this latest patch on the 12th, and then in November or December they released the templates. So all this, you know, UI quality of life stuff is relatively new, and a lot of the people I think that are kind of looking to do PI or have just dismissed it entirely are still based on the notion that I have to do every single planet one at a fucking time. And as someone who has done this for fucking years, having to move regions, or like, you know, if you have to move in general as a corporation or as an alliance to a different home, having to reset up the fucking networks is fucking horrible.
Here again, you did this earlier, but you're enabling my laziness once again.
Alright, so I think I'm at the max here. I might be able to put one on one additional side. No, I'm completely capped out. So you can see each one of these facilities currently have 12 facilities attached to each of them. And this is the advantage of having everything set up to have level 5 command center upgrades. I think I might have said this in the first video, I'm not sure because it was a couple of weeks ago. But when you're setting up these skills, don't worry so much about your interplanetary consolidation. Ideally, you just need to level 4, because at level 0 you get 1 planet, which means you get 5 planets, which is all you really need to do to produce this setup. You actually need less. Per account, provided that you've trained 3 characters on all accounts, you need about 10 planets set up. That's 9 planets that produce raw materials, and then that's 1 planet that does what we're doing right now. Now, yeah, that does this. And you kind of see how this ebbs and flows. Not 1 planet, sorry, 1 character that just does this. And we're going to see kind of like why. Because it is fucking easy. So, we're going to go ahead and save this output. You can see we have all our lines set up. We have maximum shit that we can attach to them. So next thing we're going to do is what we're actually building here. This is my coolant planet. So we need to select fucking coolant. Submit. And actually, I think I saw something in the GUI that was mentioning no, they didn't put it here. Oh, all the beta stuff is gone. Okay, I guess they didn't turn it on? I thought it was here in the beta stuff, but oh well. Shit planet. I had heard something that they were supposed to be setting up like multi-templates that you can actually just mass set templates up, so I'm gonna have to look into that and see how that is done. So you can see here we're kind of just like selecting, thankfully it pre-selects. So again, we're going to install and double click on to the associated landing pad. This is kind of like the easier thing that we need to do. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Going to this coolant. Funnel all the coolant. Now the next thing we're gonna have to do is we're gonna need to seed this planet.
Okay, what does seed mean? What do you mean by that?
Seeding means that all those yummy resources that we generated, we now need to put them into these docks. Because you can see right now we still have red rings, right? The red rings is because we have no input. Now we don't have any input inside these things because they're empty, right?
Yep,
So
it was ships to here.
yeah, so now we need to take those materials that we extracted and ship them. So now that we've set up our planet, when we do the next ones, I'm going to kind of show you how I get a head start on this. I just kind of want to break it down to its different sections.
There's going to be more. I thought this was it, mate.
Oh no, sir. Oh no, sir. This is by far the fuckiest of the fuck. So, in order to produce coolant, we need two of the materials that we produced in the first video. We need ourselves some electrolytes and some water.
Sounds good.
So, we're going to get our planetary commodities sorted out here, and we are going to go ahead and shove 30,000 units of this. Actually, let's do exact numbers, because why the fuck not? So we don't have to worry about this later. 30,000, and we're going to go 30,000 because it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And then we're going to break these down into 15,000s because we have two facilities, right? On each planet.
Nice. Enabling again.
We're now going to undock and we are going to fly to planet 2. Boom, 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 boom.
I love you for all these wee tricks that you learn for make your life easier.
Yeah. You can see this epithel is upgraded with a warp core stabber. This is very important because now that there are rats and these skyhooks, some of them can point you.
By the way, they're always bloody there.
Yeah, they fucking tend to show up, that's for sure. Alright, we're going to access the customs office. You can see here, oh, look at that! I already had materials here! Wonder what is the chance that I actually pre-seeded this a long time ago when we were making the videos. They are all pre-seeded. Alright, well, I'm going to show you what we would have done anyway. What we would have done is we would have taken these materials and plopped them here. And you can see now we have in our little launchpad selector, we have two separate launch pads. So we are actually going to separate these into 20,000 blocks, right? So 20,000, you can see it takes up 3,800. And we're going to put another 20,000 on this side, and we're going to transfer. We're now going to do the same thing with the second launch pad, the remaining materials here. And why the fuck not, while we're here, we're just going to drop these other excess materials here, and they're just going to all conglomerate, because apparently we did this a while ago in anticipation to make this video, and we never did. So
I was on holiday. I went away from it.
Yeah, and I had a massive like work cycle, so it's good that I actually thought ahead and got this stuff done, but we can show you a little bit of the process of how we go about injecting materials. So you literally just take the composition of whatever schematic that you have. In this case, it's coolant. We need electrolytes and water. We're going to put it into our little ship. We're going to fly over there, and we're going to dump it into the customs office. And now I've shown you how to do that process by mistake. We would have had to show you anyway, but now, boom.
It shortens the video. It might only be an hour this time.
Yeah, it might. Okay, I did a baddie. I should not have docked. So we're gonna just go ahead and undock here and pretend like that never happened.
Cut that out, mate. Cut that one out.
We'll fix it in post. So we're gonna go back to our planet, and now we can just double click. We don't need this anymore, but we're gonna go back and double click. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna save our template kind of right now. And kind of the reason why I'm going to say we're going to select our template is because this is all coolant. We're going to change the schematic, but in order to save a template, you need to have a schematic installed in the facility in order to save. But we're just going to save this, and we're going to save it as Crunch Planet Setup, because that's what this is. And we are going to save the template. Boosh.
Nice. So you said crunch planet, and you said that this is your phrase, isn't it?
Yeah, I like to go because that's what we're doing. We're crunching materials.
Let's make crunch great again. Come on.
Let's make fucking crunch great again. Oh god. Okay. So now the next step, kind of like how we did in the first video, we need to root, right? And this is the important thing about kind of using the launch pad is we need to root. You can see now that we have stuff in storage. Cool. You can even see when you select it, it says that it's required for coolant. Fucking beautiful. So we're going to make sure that we always have volume selected at the highest, right? Because that's what we want. And we're just going to go ahead and start spamming this shit. We're going to do all electrolytes first. And we're going to continue. And you can see our volume here is slowly dropping because our little workers on the planet are already doing their fucking job.
Good. That's what we get paid for, the bastards.
Yeah. You know. So one thing that's working for our corporation is we pay top fucking dollar.
I've noticed, by the way.
You know, I don't really see a point in robbing your corp mates of money because in the end, we are all in this together. Okay, so now that we've done this, you can see I'm only working on this side, right? Because that's the one that's attached to this one. We can't put stuff on the other side because we have no links there. We don't want links there. We don't want stuff getting convoluted.
Okay.
So we're going to go do water now, and you're going to see these rings just start disappearing. So if there's ever a case that you're like, oh shit, you know, did I miss one? Did I forget to fill one of these things up with one of the roots? You will find out very, like here, a perfect example. We forgot to put stuff there. So we're just going to go back to electrolytes and we're going to put it there and bam. We auto solve as we go through. So don't worry about double checking stuff. As long as you kind of just run through the motion, you'll be able to auto fix yourself. So that was a perfect example of being able to kind of just self-correct.
Once you watch it though, you and I know I'll watch it again, and you learn. For myself anyway, I will learn by doing it.
Oh, 100%. So this time we're going to do the exact same thing with this side, right? We're going to set up all our electrolytes. We're going to keep creating roots. This is kind of one of the things that I wish you could streamline a little bit better, but apparently you can't. So
it's worth doing for billions, mate.
Yeah, like Gone makes around like 16 billion ISK a month off of me. You know, I mean, I don't know about you, but 16 billion for 3 accounts, you know, that's still a net profit. You know, even at the current ridiculous Plex prices.
Yep.
Because I think we're up to almost 3 billion for a month for 30 days, right? I think
it's roughly 6,100,000 for the Plex. I know that much.
Yeah, so we're like at 2.9ish right now.
Yeah, I couldn't do that much.
Yeah, before it used to be about 2 billion, so doing this was super profitable. Now because, you know, inflation and all that shit.
Well, I mean, they've made the battleships and everything a lot cheaper now, so maybe people will get more involved. There's a lot more fighting, a lot more activity. You're wasting more
maybe.
ships.
Alright, so we're now done setting everything up. The facilities have started getting all their shipments, and now we're going to press submit, and you're going to see all these little things start their timers. Boop. And there we go. The facilities are running. You can see the little ley lines and the little roads all connected, and this is our first setup. So we can see here in around 1 hour we will get 5 units of coolant, and that's just going to cycle. The rate of consumption for this is going to be about the same amount of time that it takes for you to extract, which is why again I suggest you get level 5. You want to kind of have at least I believe it's 10 facilities per launch pad is what ideally you want to have to kind of keep up with that pace of every 3 days. So you really only have to do this whole thing every 3 days. There's a few tips and tricks that I have purposely left out of the videos, which I've showed Connor, how I super streamline this in order to kind of keep, you know, the TM intact.
Only information.
Fucking right it is. And how I'm able to produce the volume of fuel blocks that I'm actually able to produce. Because I'm able to do, 18 planets, have the extraction done, manual extraction done in around 2 minutes, and then being able and then being able to pull everything from every single planet in about 3 minutes. And that's 18 planets fully cycled with extraction and having pulled the resources from the planets in about 5 to 6 minutes. That's 18 planets. Like I said, it's super easy once you start getting the flow of stuff and kind of learning your own tricks on how to like generate all this stuff. You make really good money doing PI, and fuel blocks is kind of one of those things that is a stabilized price. It has not really fluctuated in the years that fuel blocks have been around. If anything, they kind of go up in price based on kind of demand, but they will usually never drop below, I want to say, like low 19,000s. And depending on what isotopes are available, you know, people shipping them in for the purposes of towers, you know, upwell structures use whatever fuel block you can build. So it's really super versatile, and everyone needs fucking fuel blocks because everyone needs structures or wants structures or has structures, which means that it is a constant market that is just constantly generating you money, which is one of the programs that our corporation offers. Is we have this PI fuel block program. You want to make ISK, you want to pay for your accounts, you know, having to play, you know, like 15 minutes at most every 3 days just to do PI, and you can make yourself a solid 15 billion a month and be able to pay for 3 accounts, you know, and still come out with like 8 billion in change. Yeah. And there's tricks and stuff that we can teach you as a corp, you know. But that's one thing that our corp, Dreadnoughts Conclave, strives to do, is make you guys enough money so you don't have to pay for this game. It is a cool game. There are cool stuff going on. There's a Drifter event going on right now, Drifter Crisis. You know, go Triglavians, and just a bunch of fun stuff to do. You know. So yeah,
I would pay for it, but free is better than paying. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, why pay 15 quid a month?
I do pay.
Why pay 15 quid a month?
15 quid, mate. I pay about fucking 100.
Why pay 100 quid a month? You can use that for weed.
Hell yeah. Yeah, perhaps too.
Yeah. Once you get the line set up and everything kind of sorted, learning the little niche tricks. Yeah. You know, come join the corp. Teach you how to do this. Go PvP. Make us some other way. We run events. We run all kinds of shit. We also play other games. We got an Ark Ascended server if you're into Ark. Buddy here's gonna start playing some Battleship 5. You know, Impy and I play Path of Exile every now and then. Like, come chill out and make some money.
Counter-Strike too. A little bit of Counter-Strike.
Cool story. Well, I guess kind of cool for me. When I was in high school, I was actually a Counter-Strike tournament champion.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
Was that in the fucking days of what was the places called when you've got loads of computers in a fucking place and you can
the fucking net cafes.
Net cafes.
Yeah. Yep. Whoa, me and my 6 buddies. Me and my 6 buddies. We used to frequent all the ones here in the city that I live in, and we used to go around and we used to win the tournaments and come out with graphics cards. That's actually where I got my first super high-end graphics card. We had played a tournament, and the reward was a 256 megabyte Radeon card, and it was like a super high-end fucking card, and we won 3 of them, and then a bunch of peripherals and stuff. I had my own computer, and 2 of the other guys had their own computer, but the other guys that were on our team only played at the net cafe. Just like, perfect, we'll just we'll take this, and we just gave him, some money, so we could take the cards home. But that was like the top of the line back in the day. That was like the top of the line graphics card you needed to play Oblivion, because that was like the game. It's like everyone's spending $500-$600 on these crazy cards to play max graphic Oblivion.
Chuck them in the bin now.
Oddly enough, I actually think I still have that graphics card somewhere.
Nice.
I've kept it because it's literally one of my trophies.
History, mate.
Yeah, it's one of my trophies. We almost went nationals. We had finished like our city tournament. We had done all the stuff for it. We got all the paperwork signed off by our parents and whatnot to attend the tournament. We lugged PCs. I remember we all had to we were mowing lawns and stuff so that we could save up. Yeah, we were mowing lawns and whatnot so we could save up money so that we could rent PCs for our other $3 because the big city tournament it was you needed your own rig. So we rented. It was like $700-800 to rent a rig for a day, and so we rented them. And we went to the city tournament, and we won the fucking tournament. And we were supposed to do the provincial tournament. And 2 of the dudes that we were with, their parents didn't want them going to the big city for the big tournament. Even though at this point, we had been playing for 2-3 years, and we had made hundreds of dollars worth of winnings from peripherals to games, game time, graphics cards. Like I said, we had we had gaming mices and stuff like that. Because gaming was just kind of starting. So you had the Logitech MX series, which was the first gaming mice, which boasted 720 DPI. Wow! Mice nowadays have 4K DPI.
Oh, man.
But yeah, we had made so much money.
I love your memory, by the way.
We had made so much money off those fucking tournaments. But their parents were like, oh, we don't want this to be a career for our child, blah, 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 blah. So they never signed off on the waiver, so we had to back out. But I guarantee you, if we had gone
all the way.
We were so good. So in the last map of the tournament, it had gotten so well. Oh shit! I have floated so far. I forgot to stop my ship.
That happened in the last video, mate. We need fucking. We need bouncers here.
We need fucking Impy. Where are you?
Where is Impy, by the way?
I am here.
Impy's just stoned off his rocker. That's what's happening.
Well, I'm complaining or contemplating for the last 45 minutes that I should roll my pre-grinded stuff here.
We're
You
just
should
shooting
stop
the shit.
contemplating that, mate.
Hey,
Just
man.
do it.
Yeah, but I need to lean forward. My back's killing me.
Get someone in the house to give it to you.
Boris.
Your cat. No. No. It'll end up
What,
on the
Charlie?
floor, mate.
What, the bitch then?
Okay, so
We have digressed. Sorry, by the way.
now this is interesting. This is interesting. Why
Yeah,
has
that
it
is what-
split everything up?
Could this be because of the new fucking update, man?
You can see the they have moved out of position.
I knew they'd nerf it. I thought it'd be because of these videos, but they've already.
Oh,
done it.
that's because compressing pins. There we go. Okay, so for future reference, if you want to have them in the exact same setup that you want, compress pins. Do not compress pins. So we are going to have this set up right on top of our little thingy right there.
So don't save the template yet.
No, you can save it. It was just compressing pins
Okay,
fucked
okay.
everything up, see? Because I guess it compresses them.
Okay.
So yeah, uncompressed. Perfect. We're going to confirm and install. And it's do. Look at that.
There we
Quality of
go.
life, baby. Oh my lord. It's oh, it even loads up all the floors. Oh, look at that. And we're back up to square one. All right. So this planet here is not a coolant planet, which is fine, which means we just need to reset the schematics. I'm guessing... Yeah, see, so the roots don't get saved. That's perfectly fine because we would have to fucking delete every single one anyway. So, this is planet 3. This is going to be my uranium planet, which means that we are using reactive and precious metals in order to make enriched uranium. So, we're going to select that. We're going to do this. And like before, we are going to make sure you are unable to create a shipping route. The ridge origin will not produce enough coolant. Ooh.
Fucking hell, what, man? And the speed you do things, I know you've done this a million times, so they've changed things.
Yeah. That's good though, learning.
Yeah,
Okay, there we go. That's why. Okay, cool. Yeah, so select new thingy. That's fine. Hopefully when the new quality of update stuff, because they said that you'll be able to like mass select like your schematic, so you'll be able to actually select all your schematics at once rather than having to do this. So hopefully that quality of life will happen someday, and we will be able to continue moving forward. So yeah, right now we're just changing everything to be enriched uranium, which is fine by me. Because this still is a whole of a lot easier than doing every single one at a fucking time. And having to place all the stations and all the facilities. And so that's fine. We will continue this. What I actually need to do is get a little closer so I can have a better selection. There we go. See? Tighter selection. So I don't have to be so precise with my clickage. And I can kind of macro this a little bit with just repetitive hand movement and be able to move my mouse the littlest that I need to move it. Because that is the trick. That is the trick that I learned a long time ago. Is that you need to just be able to click the most minimum amount in order to optimize, which is why people play with like crazy sensitivity. And I used to play with crazy sensitivity back in the day. People used to grab my mouse and, you know, their character would start doing a 380 fucking spin. Okay, we're going to submit.
I know that was for Counter-Strike.
Oh yeah, man. Everything was Counter-Strike back then. So, once again, we're going to go back to the station and we're going to see 20,000 units. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this because we're going to be a little fucking lazy. And now we can just copy fucking and paste. Why? Why the fuck not?
Easy money, y'all.
Easy fucking money, y'all. And then we just double click this to go back onto the planet. And now we start creating our routes, just like we did before. And if you have watched the first video, you have noticed that we weren't using any of the quality of life stuff.
Aye.
And this was going slightly slower.
Yeah, to be fair, right?
Right? We probably would have still been in the process of putting down facilities. God damn. No, not that. Am I not double clicking? There we go. Sometimes you get hiccups.
Could that have been a ping? I'll check.
And there we go. You can see the facilities are now telling us that the schematic and the roots have now completed their job fill, which is exactly what we want. We want all of these structures to tell us that they are ready to fucking go. And we can have our little workers on the planet start working the little hearts out and be able to pay for their cost of living. Unlike the Star Wars universe, this isn't indentured servitude. And we don't charge you for the equipment. It's all a part of your contract, so you don't got to worry about that.
Dude,
Wagwan.
if there was a ping, mate, do we stop this video or do we just carry on?
If there is a ping,
There's been 3.
I am sorry to say, but I am not stopping these videos because they take a long time to fucking produce. And who knows when is the next time that we'd be able to all sit down and do this. Will probably be another couple of weeks.
1 at 11.
5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, I'd rather just get this fucking done.
There's another one in a few hours. We can join.
Okay, fair enough. Look, they'll be fine. We know they'll be fine.
There's like 8 fleets a fucking day. They can calm their tits.
Yeah, this is why I'm loving the weekend, because now I get a few like you.
Once again, this is kind of one of the ways that we help you make ISK. I was actually thinking of what to kind of do after doing this stuff, and I was thinking of running, like, how to do, like, the MTOs, and how I do MTOs, and how I make my monies doing MTOs.
I've heard you on about that.
But I also don't want, like, people to see where I have my MTOs, so...
I mean, it's not
kind of
really
interpretation.
Away. You know what I mean? Like, you're making money, fine. Tell you go, but don't put it on YouTube.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Okay, so next setup. So that's planet number 2. So we have our coolant being produced. We have our enriched uranium being produced. Next step is... next step is consumer electronics is going to be our next setup. So we are going to go to planet 5. Look at that. So this one I'm kind of am going to worry about. Barren planets not so much, but I want these people to have a really nice view.
That's nice.
Right? So do we want to put them over the ocean? No, because I don't want them to get hurricanes. So I think I want something a little more inland. They have like a nice view of a lake. Something like this I think would be nice. Somewhere like here. Right, we can have our facilities here. This looks like some nice area down here. Or we can put it smack down in the middle and they can go for vacations. Sure. Let's do it like right here. They're right off the coast. You can see there's some cloud buildup there.
8-mile beaches.
And if you actually pay attention, so I'll put my cursor here just in front of this little thing and you can actually see the planet and the clouds are actually moving.
No way.
Yeah, just leave it there for a sec.
I need to put it on good graphics so I get this.
Now the downsides is that this is kind of like a static. You can see here actually the line of the planet. You can see here. You can see the line.
On this side, but the other side they fucked.
So it's literally just like wrapped around the planet, but it's a singular graphic. There's no like weather patterns or anything, which again, you know, but I mean, look at the planet in general. Like if you didn't know that that line was obviously there, because you can see it is obviously there. You can see it doesn't line up quite exactly, but if you zoom out enough, you don't really notice the line. I can see it now because I know that it's there, but let's just flip around somewhere else.
It's only one seam anyway, so...
Yeah. See how gorgeous the planets look. I mean, you can kind of see from the shimmering, the depths of the ocean. Beautiful. And this is Eve. This is the beautifulness of space. For some reason I don't see a star, which is weird, but hey.
called space travel for a reason. You
I
do a
s-
lot of traveling.
I suppose. I suppose. So let's go ahead and drop our temperate planet. We're gonna drop our little temp facility here. We're gonna go ahead and load.
No, it's split in two
Where the fuck did it
directions.
go? Where is it? Where the fuck's the template?
This is the Murphy.
Ah, it's up here. I don't want it.
These ragged templates. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, this pins you to the focus on the pins. So we want to set this up like here. Beautiful. Confirm and install. Ah, quality of life.
Almost Tchaikovsky there.
Right. Okay, so this planet we're going to be setting up, as I said before, is consumer electronics. So, like before, we're going to set up our schematics, and we're going to do this sucker just above. I'm hoping that other quality of life thing happens. And we can just mass select the thing. Okay, in the first video we didn't really use any of the quality of life stuff, and that was mainly due to the fact that I hadn't really played around with it too much, so I wasn't really sure how the UI worked and stuff, so I didn't kind of want to like, how is it,
Muddy the videos.
fumble through it, I think would be the word.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Depending where you're from. Aye.
Depending where you're from. So now I kind of got to play with it a little bit better. I'm able to kind of give a better explanation and how it, incorporate it into my planning style. But at least you guys got to see before how it used to be done back in the day before we had these quality of life stuff changes. It actually used to be way more chaotic than this. So we're slowly getting these quality of life changes after about 10 or so fucking years, which is a long time to be doing it this way.
We'll call it quality end of life.
Yeah, right. So if you end up making another crunch planet, because our setup does have a requirement of kind of like what it needs to be, what we will end up doing is actually saving this one, and we'll actually go back to the uranium planet and actually save it as a uranium schematic. That way in the future, if I have to move all my stuff for whatever reason, I will have everything pre-fucking set up and I can just smack stuff down. And that should be everything set up right now. We have our schematic set up and we should be able to bloop, finish everything. Awesome. Once again, we're going to close this. We are going to open Planet 5. And we're going to start injecting. And remember before? Oh, no. Go the fuck back there. We had everything pasted. Beautiful. Second launch pad is just a regular drag and drop. Boom, and we have now seeded the planet. Let's double click on this sucker and continue the process. And from here on, it's just legitimately just rinse and repeat. You can opt to do different styles of setting up brooding. If you want to have minimalist, you can just be like, hey, I'm just gonna do all this in one go, which is fine. Here, boom.
Yeah.
You don't
Look, if anyone's got a better suggestion, we're willing to hear them. But if you want to play for free, it's worth doing.
Yeah, you know, I was gotta pitch it, man. I was gotta pitch it.
It pitches itself, mate.
We're just gonna keep seeding, keep seeding. Can I get this a little tighter here? Oh, you can see we forgot one planet there. So let's just correct that. There we go. See? Doesn't matter really which order you do this in. I just kind of... I'm a chef by trade, so you kind of want to do all the steps at once and then go to the next step so you don't have... You're doing multiple stuff, and that way you can have a clean workstation, and that's just me.
I'm a plasterer, so I get you. You clean your tools, you do...
I mean, we know you're a plasterer. You're freaking drunk right now.
Okay then, I think over there you call it a drywaller or something. Methodical.
I think in the North Americas, I think a plasterer would almost kind of be someone who works with like stucco, not necessarily like drywall, because drywall doesn't really have like plaster in it.
Okay, well gypsum, like I mean,
right?
Like there's in Scotland, when I came to Scotland, they called it Ames taping instead of plastering. I was like,
yeah, because it's like a tape now that you put on it, right?
Yeah. Mad. But I've never done that. I'm a plasterer. I'm not an Ames taper. Like, and I am also a pisshead, so Jaded wasn't wrong.
How's your back feeling, buddy?
I feel good, mate.
That's not gonna ib.
My back sucks.
How much for an hour? Sorry, sucks means something else in fucking England.
And there we go. There's our next planet set up. So we're actually gonna start. I'm going to start getting this saved, and I'm actually going to set this thing up as. This is Con Elec Crunch Planet, and I'm gonna save it as such. Boom. And I actually can't change the name of this. Interesting. Is that edit? No, that's more. Oh, cool. I can... Excellent. That's cool little options. Okay, cool. That is very cool. Alright, so yeah, from here it's just literally rinse and repeat, and we got 2 more planets to do. I actually think I am missing 1 planet. I'm missing my ice. I think I'm missing an ice command center. Yeah, I'm missing an ice
one that saves at the wrong fucking place.
Yeah. There's my ice command center. We can't all be perfect.
Like, one tiny perfection and all of that is fine. No, imperfection, sorry.
Okay, so next one here, we're going to go planet 6. It's going to be our next planet. We're going to approach this thing so that we don't accidentally fly around or get bumped off. Planet 6. This will be mechanical parts. See, another temperate planet, differently set up than the other temperate planet, because that's one of the things that the game did do, is they procedurally generated different planets. See, this one doesn't have a lot of water, so
there'll be a lot of wars over water.
there would be a lot of wars over water for this, sure, especially like if I'm guessing up here would probably, because usually towards the poles is where you start getting fresh water. So this will probably be fresh water up here. Let's give him a nice big lake to look at. Why the fuck not? Boom.
Can you hear my dad singing downstairs?
We're gonna
On
open
his Todd.
template. We're going to load. Boop, 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 boop. We're going to move this over. Upgrade. Boop, 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 boop. Submit. Drop that there. Confirm and install. Oh. You just imagine from the first video how long it took us to set this up, and now look how, bam, all set up. We just have to redo all the fucking schematics.
Mate, I appreciate the information here.
Okay, this is actually supposed to be a different planet on my sheet, so I don't think I have this seeded, which is fine. Oh, that's a P4 planet. Okay. Boom. Submit. We'll have that set up there, but we are actually supposed to be on planet 7. My apologies. I am on the wrong planet. You can see this one has a lot of water. And we're going to build in this mountainous area.
Okay, so there'll be wars for land.
There'll be wars for land. Exactly.
We want war!
They'll get war. Alright, let's build our little command facility over here. Boom, 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 boom. Let's upgrade this motherfucker. Boom, 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 boom. Open template. We're going to just open this one because it does not matter to us where it is. Oh, we did it bad. Oh no.
Hey,
Oh no.
No,
No,
we.
no,
What's
it's
all this
fine.
we business?
You're complicit. Okay, so this is going to be mechanical parts. So we did a oopsie with P6. That's fine. We will sort it out in post. We are going to swap all of these to mechanical components.
Yep, this is a good lesson in know what you're fucking doing.
It's a good lesson in don't be drunk and stoned on at 4 p.m.
night.
on a Friday.
I mean that you know nobody can promise that. But I've got a notebook, like JD's got spreadsheets, but I'm traditional. I use a pen and paper now. I'm gonna write all this down.
Yeah. While we're doing this, Imp's kind of just listening to us, playing with his
With a
kitty
bad
cat, you know, mulling over whether he wants to take
Making
a
sure
bath.
you guys are not calling bullshit.
I'm glad someone's doing it.
Impy's just kind of, you know, pondering whether, you know, how long this video is gonna take, and
So am I, by the way.
you know, whether he can sneak out in the middle of it to go take a bath.
For his back again.
Bath
Give him-
sounds from the back.
Yeah, man. I feel bad for it because I've got a bad leg, but the back's even worse than the leg. You know what I mean? The back's a pain.
Are you watching at all, Impy? I'm just curious.
He's ratting.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
No, I don't.
No,
that was
I'm
it.
watching it on Twitch.
No,
That
it's
just was.
I'm not watching it on Twitch. I'm not streaming.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, That was for our tests.
That was the sound test, my
That
man.
was a sound test.
Well, that's all I watched.
Okay, you've heard it all anyway.
Alright, let's save this motherfucker. And let's go ahead and get out into space. We're going to go to P7. We're going to open the access office. And we're going to go ahead and start dropping stuff that we need in our various launch pads. Transfer. We have to wait. Ba, 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 ba. Boom.
I like how it's between the planets and the main character. Like, it's like a collaboration.
Yeah.
If we're thinking visually.
Actually watching Down the Rabbit Hole the last few days. And there's one thing that I do miss. I miss walking in stations.
Oh, I
never
missed that as well.
experienced that. I never actually experienced it.
It was so cool.
It like the UI was clunky in the sense like you had to use all these like really weird menus, but you didn't have to use the menus. That's one of the things that I didn't like about the rabbit hole. It's like it gave you this UI in order for you to enter the ship site, but you didn't have to, right? You didn't have to use that UI. You could still use the old methods, you know. But I would have loved for that to happen. Because now we don't really see our characters anymore. Before you used to be able to see your characters walk around and shit. Now,
I
none of
never
that.
experienced that, man.
Yeah,
But
it
the
was really
other
cool.
problem was that they didn't allow other people to join each other while walking.
Yeah, it's just your character.
It was just you by yourself. So,
Is it basically a spruced up version of seeing your other ships in your hangar?
Yeah. Yeah, with 3D rendered
I-
model and everything.
I like that feature. I like that. If none of you checked, that was not a ping.
I got so many pings now that I've been doing the try leaving event stuff. Oh,
Oh, see, I'm glad I was doing it with just the co-op. I don't need an extra alliance.
yeah, I started. I'm doing like FCing for them now.
Nice one. Well, I might come for that.
I mean, yeah, get yourself your gimp suit, man.
Well, I mean, there's some nice ways apparently, so aye, I'm on it.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
I can't believe none of you said I knew I were a gimp.
Yeah, we ain't that crass.
I live in Scotland, mate. That would have been the first thing.
So, when this planet finishes, I think that's pretty much going to be done because I'm going to show you the reason why I made sure the mech parts was the last thing that we did. Because we're going to show you how beautiful these template setups are. I think I'm probably going to have to do routing again. Because the facilities aren't dropped down there. But it'll do all of our routing, initial schematic routing to here. And the most we're going to have to do is the routing from the landing pad to the production facilities. And boom, we are done another planet. We're going to save this template. We're going to save this as mech parts crunch planet. Save template. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
So the first stage you've got to scan, but the second stage you can just dump them anywhere.
Yeah, because the production requires you to use 2 mech parts, because consumer electronics and mechanical parts, when we get all that set up, we'll go and produce a P3, which is robotics. which we don't have any of those components available right now because I've already used them all.
Okay.
But it'll show you to set up robotics. That's probably something in the video I'm not going to show. Again, we want to, kind of just have the basics set up.
Yeah.
And the other stuff we can do off recordings and whatnot.
Well, you teach me a lot, JD. So anyone would be, if you want that knowledge,
Remiss?
they know what to do.
Anybody would be remiss?
I didn't even seek this. Nath Law got me into this. Like, I just woke up one morning and he was like, join this corp. I was like, okay. And then now I'm here. It was 5 in the morning, by the way. And he just said, join this corp, and then they did. And I'm still here like a month and a half, 2 months later. Learning all sorts. So thank you, Dreadnoughts Conclave. That's all I'll say.
Beautiful, yeah. And all the schematics are already set up on mech parts? Fuck yes. Quality of life stuff. We've been asking for this shit for years. It's nice that we're actually getting it. Let's go and dump the materials we need. Into our launch pads, and then set up routes, and then we are fucking done. And yeah, just for the sake of kind of making sure we don't give all the trades of the secret, we're going to make sure. Is it rooted? It did! It auto-rooted!
Oh, here we go, man.
Oh my god, I love templates. It auto-rooted. It already had the stuff. It was just waiting for materials. Fucking brilliant. I don't gotta do shit. Moving forward, if I ever need to uproot to a different system or anything, I have all the templates fucking opened up that I need for all the fucking construction components, and I don't gotta worry about shit. I guess I just gotta make new ones for the different raw materials, so I can just plaster them down. But mate, this is gonna be easier for you, for when you multiply with your different characters. You just gotta do it just gotta set up the 10 planets once, and then the crunch planets once.
Done.
And then just splat them on the fucking planets. I'm actually curious if I can actually where these things are saved up in the computer. I wonder if I can just I wonder if it's just a JSON file. Because if it is, I could just I could just copy and compress them into a folder and just give them to you.
Fuck's sake, man. I love technology.
There's one thing that I pride myself in, Connor, is making my corp mate's life a little bit easier.
And also, from what I know of you, efficiency.
Yeah.
No, that's Andre.
Well, I love efficiency. I do. And everything you're showing me is making me more efficient. So.
Yeah, if I can actually find these on the computer, if they're a JSON file, like if the templates work like how EFT stuff works, I should just be able to compress the JSON files and put them up in the Discord for you. Wouldn't that be fucking brilliant?
Thank you, my man. Whatever you can do, I'll listen. I relearn. I'm glad when we make a video because I can remember them. I'll look back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll see if I can find these in the files later on. But yeah, that is beautiful. So that is pretty much it for setting up. And then what my corp does, and what I do specifically, is these things here: coolant, enriched uranium, consumer electronic, mechanical parts, and robotics, which I'm not going to show how to do. I buy at 100% G to buy value. If you do this on one character, you make more than enough to be able to sub your account just by doing PI.
On one character with 3 people, or
one account.
Oh.
With then some left over. to play around with ships and stuff. So if you ever want to bring something a little more blingy next time, you'll be like, hey, Jaded, I made an extra 3 billion on top of everything else that I was doing. Like, fuck yeah, man. Let's fucking do it. Let's fucking go. Because at the end of the day, that is what it is all about.
Jaded, how did you first discover that you could do this? Was it a work that you've seen other people done and improved, or did someone just have the formula, or what? How? There's obviously maths involved.
In what respect?
How did you discover that you could pay for your accounts with planetary interaction?
PI first got introduced, and I kind of got into it with that whole, you know, I'm a very visual individual, and I kind of got into the whole, you know, we're capsuleers. We're capsuleers.
Aye.
But there are people in the universe that we don't see. And this was like our way to kind of like connect with the individuals that are in the universe. Because we're so far removed as capsuleers. Even when we're running missions and stuff, think about it. Those people are called agents, right? They're people that specifically talk to capsuleers. We don't talk to general populace. We don't interact with general populace.
We perform a task and then it's done.
But PI for me was a way to kind of like, you know, in my brain, like even when I'm playing the game and stuff, you know, in the backgrounds of my brain is pretty creative, and I'm constantly thinking, you know, like every Fortizar we blow up, every Athener we fucking destroy, you know, those are tens of thousands of people that are legit dying.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
they've been fueling it for years using one substance.
Mm-hmm. And so for me, it was kind of like, how cool would it be if we could build on planets and stuff? And then, you know, they introduced PI, and I was like, fuck yeah. You know, I now own these huge, you know, facilities. And Dreadnought's Conclave now isn't just a facility out in the stars, you know, where we have our stations and we have, you know, our capitals and stuff like that. You know, as a part of the branch of Dakari, you are essentially now are doing PI, and our corporation now inhabits multiple worlds, and we have full infrastructure set up, not just in space, but in planets. And for like me, for as far as like how much I love Eve, that's the lore aspect of it.
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
this is it. See, I'm saying, mate, it doesn't matter what game I play. Like in Skyrim, mate, I read every book I fucking come across.
yeah.
Like it's lore, it's the game, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I used to play video games with this girl I dated for a while, and she hated the fact that when we were like playing games, that I would stop and there'd be like a note somewhere. It's like, oh yeah, you're not gonna need that. We can just keep going. I'm like, no, but you know, some motherfucker spent some time doing this. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get a waypoint from that she didn't.
Yeah. But I got into this, but just on the fact of like, cool, let's see what this new feature is. And then I ended up realizing that I can make some decent money off of it. And then little by little, because I already had a bunch of accounts, right? Like all these accounts that I have, they're old. And so it was just a matter of, okay, how can I force multiply this to make me even more money? And then how can I do that even more to make more money? So I started, like, everything that I've learned from, like, the spreadsheets that you've seen to how I do planetary setups, even me now, like, learning with this new template UI, is me literally just learning. And me just taking all the existing data that I already have and just putting it into practice.
Are you really not scared about sharing this information?
Not really.
What if it all ends because of this?
Then it was going to end anyway.
Yeah, someone would have done it.
Uh-huh.
Well,
and that's the thing.
Train as long as I can.
And that's the thing, like, you know, we've left so much out. We've left the other planets. We have left how to
Alright,
how
that's
I
plenty.
pull everything super fast and make it
Yeah, yeah.
super efficient. We've left so many little corp secrets and my personal secrets away.
Oh, well, I want in your personal secrets. That's good then.
But this is just a taste of, like, you know, a cool system that you can play around with. It makes you passive fucking money. So why the fuck not? You know?
This is the JD lifestyle here.
Yeah. Super fast, easy, efficient. I make about as much money as Andre does fucking ratting
Fuck's sake, guy.
without the without the PvP, without the oh shit, I lost all my ships because I fucked up once.
Although I
No
mean,
having
I've
to
already
farm
lost. Jesus.
rat poop. No having to do any of this shit.
He's seeding our stations, mate.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is our setup. And we're probably gonna be doing some more of these videos. These videos were originally kind of like a way for me to, you know, kind of like make more kind of like recruitment videos. This is kind of the stuff our corporation offers. This is kind of what we're about. We got some dudes to come on the Discord that'll bring in the calls, and we're gonna do shit. You know, the whole point is, you know, as we continue roaming and we continue doing stuff, we can finally start putting videos together of kind of what our corp does and kind of help grow our numbers.
Can I add to this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm a new player. I've done a bit of bloody PvP, not much, a year and a half, 2 years, but the knowledge between 3 to 5 of these men in this corporation is unmatched. I can ask for any ship fit, and they all get to work. I don't do that on purpose, but it just happens.
Yeah. We all have our niches and whatnot, and like what we do. Andre is our PvP dude. You know, he's our roamer. He's our general teacher. He'll make somebody who doesn't know how to PvP, and he'll turn them into a PvP machine. I am a huge admin guy. I'm decent in PvP fleet combats and stuff, but I can hold my fucking own when I absolutely have to. I'm good at doing fittings and corp comps and stuff like that. You know, Lud is our capital FC, also known as Tongue. He's our capital FC, and you know, he's our big fleet guy. If we want big fleet battles that we need to defend or do, him and I kind of work together and kind of, you know, mix and match strategies and stuff that, you know, from our relevant experience.
Can I interrupt?
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, as an outsider, I call Lud Seth Rogen because of his voice.
But the exact opposite. The man has never smoked a joint in his life.
No, but just the voice. Just the
Oh
voice
yeah,
is
yeah.
fuck's sake, man.
And then we got Impy. Impy's just our all-arounder.
He's
I think if
disabled
it
now though, he's
but now he's disabled. now he's gimpy.
And I can still rock 5 fucking augers.
As long as you don't have to lean
fuck.
forward, you're okay, mate.
I can 5 bucks logi while I'm paid in combo.
Yeah.
No, but last night, mate, you were in full pain and you fucking you did it. Even getting jammed and everything, man. Last night was a fucking performance, and
yeah, dude. Even while you were getting jammed and like we knew you were in pain, but you're so fucking going through. You're gritting your teeth through it.
And me and Jay, we were trying to get rid of all them rats, man.
Yeah, you had such a small fuse yesterday. We were like, don't worry, we're taking care of this for you, buddy. Fuck you, you don't know what I'm fucking doing. You don't know my life. You don't know anything. And we're just like, hold on. We're killing. We're trying to get to it. It's like, well, I'll fucking do a better job. Yeah. Impy the Grumpy.
No, it was good last night though as well, with the Triglavian, is it? Triglavian shit, and I learnt some last night. I've got a couple of ships, and hopefully we'll do it tonight and all. Or tomorrow for me, I might be too drunk, but I know.
Yeah, I mean, your next step after Kiki's is Drax. As a corp thing.
I've got 2 in Kiki's, so it won't take long for the next.
I don't know. I think in general, like as far as the corp has grown, like 'cause we have phases, right? And that's always the hardest part about our corporation. It's just kind of how like we are.
It's life. It's life, mate. It's not phase. It's life.
Yeah. And I think kind of impies are probably like our most solid example of what my knowledge base and Andre's knowledge base and Tung's knowledge base can get you in this game.
So MP's the brains. Is this what you're telling me?
I think Impy has probably benefited the most out of anybody in this corp because he has literally
Been just
sponged.
quietly observing.
Yes.
And getting a sponge, and now when it used to be Andre gave me a fit, and now it is I make a fit. I'm giving Andre. Now it's like, oh goddamn, no, I can't change. And sometimes the jag fit we use for our thing. Yeah, the Shaguar, yeah. I literally gave it, and the Stepner as well, I gave it to Andre and Jade, and I'm like, please, I need more speed, try to improve anything. And they were like, nope.
Nope.
And at
MP,
that
I
point,
own
I'm
a
like,
Shaguar.
Yeah. Yeah, I think out of anybody here, Impy's, that it's kind of one of the reasons why I made him the 2IC, because he has absorbed so much knowledge from me and Andre and Tung. So.
I've got one goal, and one day I'm going to be a dreadlord, please. I'm going to be a dreadlord.
No.
I can fly a dread now, that's a start. I've never actually been in one, but I can fly one.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, Impy's proof of concept.
Yep, and I'm here for the long goal, you know what I mean? I love this fucking...
Yeah.
Stop me as meeting some fine...
I mean, if you take all the years that just Lud and myself, because we're like the original members, is Lud and myself.
I didn't know that, but good to know.
Yeah, we all, again, as a part of our recruitment video.
How long's Andre been along? Because I like and trust Andre as well.
Andre with us, I think we're going on 5 years with Andre.
That's good. And how long have you and fucking MP been together?
4?
Or was it Lud you were on about, sorry?
4 MP, right? 4 years?
And Lud is the top dog.
So Lud and I used to be a part of a different corporation. At one point in time, he was my director.
Yep.
And this is when I started getting in nullsec. I think Lud and myself are going on about 18, 19 years now.
Oh, okay. That's that. Yeah. That's the 2IC.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Tung and I have known each other for, next year will be 20 years that we'll have known each other. Through this game. So it's been a crazy road. But as far as everything's been concerned, like lore of the corporation, we started off in this corporation called Wrecking Shots, and we started off just mining. When everybody kind of got back together, we used to be in Black Legion. We were one of the founding corp members of Black Legion back in the day. We've been through most of the Cloud Ring Wars, the Fountain Wars, the Fade Wars, Declan Wars, GOTG Wars, World War B1, World War B2. I was there not with Tung at the time, but I was there during the Lotka Volterra and Bob Wars down in Curse and Omist. We've been all over the place. But the corp formed with me as a CEO because I was voluntold. Lud slowly started pulling everybody to come back that used to be in Wrecking Shots. And we were in this corporation called Massadeath, which was another one of our corp members who was in Wrecking Shots and had left Wrecking Shots to start his own corporation with a couple of his friends. And so Lud had come back, wanted to play, joined Massadeath. And then I had started playing again, and he saw me online. He's like, "Hey, come and mine with me, and we'll print out supers." And then Rico joined us, and this guy named Shogun joined us. My buddy Grumpy joined us. Flash joined us, and then we're like, "Hey, you know, they wanted to go and fight in the front line of the GOTG wars, and we're like, we don't want to do that. And so it was like, okay, let's get a corp sorted out, and we'll see where to go. And at that point, I was friends with Apo Lamparag, and he was the liaison for Rate My Ticks that rented NC.space out in Tino. And so during one of the Eve meets, I met up with him, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of what we're doing. He's like, why don't you just come, like, to the system? Like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, just come to the system where we are. We have a 1.0 system that's, like, the headquarters for everybody, and it's kind of like a DICE-only, NC.only system. It doesn't get rented out to everybody, but if you guys can keep the ADMs up, and you guys can, you know, like, maybe print us some Subers, you guys can come move in at a reduced rent cost, maybe about like half what normally get rented.
I'm sorry, but what are ADMs?
What is it? Activity. What the fuck's the acronym for ADM, Impy?
I don't know
what
either, but
ADM.
the lower it goes negative to -1, the lower the ADM multiplier, the more anomalies
with
will
our
get spawned.
That's our core.
No, it's a toasting timer. ADMs are the toasting things.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we were about our core here.
Yeah. So ADMs are about toasting, and they're the way that you hold sovereignty. They're this system that got introduced in the game, which is basically which we call toasting, and it's basically an Tosis module that you take to a Sov upgrade unit, and you have to spool it on there for X amount of time, and the higher the ADM, the longer it takes for a person to be able, that has to sit there hours toasting this thing before responsibly comes and fucking nukes them to the goddamn ground. Which is why ADMs are so important across all nullsec, of why they need to stay high. Because they need to stay high so that people can't just come and you can just lose your Sov in that system. So we moved down there, and, you know, it's like, okay, well, we need to make a corporation. We don't want to join NC. necessarily. We want to kind of stay independent. And I literally logged on one day, and they're like, hey, Jadid, you have, like, your HiSec Corp. I'm like, yeah, I have my HiSec Corp. Why? It's like, well, we kind of all decided that none of us kind of really want to deal with any of this, like, administrative bullshit. And you seem to already kind of, like, found us a place where we can go. So congratulations, you're the CEO. And we're just going to all fold our tunes into Dreadnoughts, Conclave. And congratulations. And that was the beginning of the Corp.
You want an easy life sometimes. I can understand.
And that was the Corp. And since then, it's just been my job to kind of keep the ball rolling. And we've had our ups, we've had our downs, we've had, you know, emergency evacuations. The Corp has proven itself time and time again in fleet conflicts and in deployments. You know, during the World War B2, our corporation was assigned along with a German corporation called Too Bad to defend our home space of Esoteria, while the main forces pushed in through the G-Magic gate towards period basis. And, you know, we had to sit back and defend our space, defend against Farranova, who was invading in from Stain. And I was one of the first responders that happened during the great Requiem Eternal Sov drop that happened out there. And to deal with all that shit that happened down there. And, you know, I coordinated with Fit, who was the alliance leader, because we used to be a part of that alliance as well at one point. So we coordinated there, you know. I earned the title of the Savior of Impasse, you know, from everybody. That was my title for a really long time. And then, you know, we became the burners of period basis. Because our corp at that time, I think we were like almost 35 people in the corp. And we were just flying our Drekovac comp, burning everything left, right, and center. Again, we were always kind of on the back end of everything, and eventually, you know, Dreaded is like, hey, you're just going to come with us. You know, you guys are competent enough that you guys are just going to deploy with us. We're going to send everybody elsewhere, but you're going to deploy with us and assist us with our operations.
This is what I'm doing now. I'm trying to skill into the ships so that I can fucking fly with you. But I've done a good job, I think.
Yeah, you're doing great, man.
Like, I can get in the gears, I can get in everything now I can fly, but...
Yeah, we got tons of shit. Our corp's been involved in alliance tournaments now, and, you know, kind of just need to
be prepared
get
to
those peoples.
cross-train races.
And that's the thing, you know. We'll slowly get up there. And... alliance tournament's a whole other deal. That is theory crafting to an art form.
I love it, man. I love it. And I will get this eventually, but at the minute, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Someday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think our video is about to hit our usual cap of 1 hour and 30 minutes.
What we were bloody doing the video.
Right? I've just been docked in the station, to be honest, just shit talking with you guys. You know, if you're still here watching the video while we've just been kind of shit talking about our corporation and whatnot, thank you for staying around. Like I said, these videos are kind of meant to be kind of like what we offer. I've been kind of getting a little bit better on recording more of our skirmishes, and we're hopefully going to start making compilation videos. And kind of the goal is to be able to kind of have an advert up at some point, you know, kind of get ball rolling towards the corp and whatnot. But you know,
I want to see these videos of us fucking fighting.
We have actually 2 years worth of combat footage. The problem is that during that time I was like Twitch streaming while we were doing our crazy roams, and the videos are like 3-4 hours long because it's just us hanging out as a corporation, flying
like this video that I
yeah, but 4 hours long with combat trickled in between. And I have not found an AI tool that can filter stuff out to be able to, you know, otherwise, like I told Andre, right now, I think we have the better part of almost 240 hours worth of roams from 2 years.
I'll edit this for you.
We need to find either someone who wants to do it for free, someone who is...
I'll pay him.
Someone that we can... You know, that maybe lives in Amsterdam, and, you know, Impy can, like, give him 50 euros to go to the red light district, you know? Like...
He'll pay for himself, my pal.
You know, that can kind of sift through everything and just kind of get us the combats. Because there's just so long. Like I said, we have 240 hours worth of video footage that I'm not going to parse through. Andre doesn't want to parse through. I haven't even bothered mentioning it to Impy yet that we have 240 hours. He's probably hearing it for the first time now. And he's like, I ain't fucking doing it, which is why I would never even bother asking him.
I've heard this before, but I've been quiet.
You know, like, how the fuck do you parse 240 hours worth of fucking footage? Because like 2-3 years ago, we used to, all our roams were broadcasted. We didn't care if you came to us, you stream sniped us, whatever.
Yeah, we'll be anyway.
So I put like a half-hour delay on the stream, so you couldn't find us even if you wanted to.
That's a nice, yeah. 5 is a good number.
You know, half an hour is more than enough for us to go somewhere, do our shit, and fuck off. We're not gonna stay in the same area.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, but that was the security of it, right?
I love it. Yeah.
But yeah, we used to have, I think, people up in the chat and stuff like that. We used to get our viewers. You know, the channel was actually going up. I think we got to like 67 viewers, and at one point we had like 15, 20 people, I think was like our highest number of watching the Twitch streams. But, you know, life happens and shit happens, and so.
Life and shit are equally intertwined. Yeah.
Streaming the stuff that happened in Derelict would have been really, not Derelict, in Detroit would have been really good for us. But, you know, like I said, it's always shit we're trying to work on in the background and, you know, try to enjoy the game. But anyways, so this is part 2 of the Fuel Block program. I'll probably kind of see if there's maybe like a part 3 that I want to do. But if anything, part 3 will most likely just be like waiting for Connor, because he's like our proof of concept right now, and kind of see how he's doing it, and probably just get him to write in his little notepad a collection of questions, a collection of questions as he's doing all his stuff, and we'll probably just make a third video with literally just him being like, Jaded, how do I do this? Jaded, why can't I do that? Jaded, where's my money? Like,
yeah, we don't record most of that either.
no, we don't. And you know, we'll get all that sorted out, and there might be the Way of Fuel Block Part 3, but for all intents and purposes, that's pretty much the end of this little tiny series, and it's just kind of going to be us shit talking. What we'll probably do at some point though is kind of show how we make ISK, doing some ratting stuff. There's a new proof of concept stuff that I want to be trying out with Impy, and so we'll probably go into like some dead end somewhere in the middle of some space and just kind of see if we can do this proof of concept while we shit talk and have ourselves a good time. And you know, always expect these channels to be not really safe for work. There are mentions of drugs, alcohol, pornography, lots of profanity, and the occasional purring of Impy's cat Boris, who's our corp mascot.
Honest as well, and open-minded.
But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys got a kind of a little bit of sense how the new UI works, how we kind of set up everything. And as always, you can always find us at EVE Online. Our corporation is Dreadnoughts Conclave with corp ticker Dekari. And we have an in-game channel called The Dreadnoughts with a Z at the end. You can find us on the forums as well. Currently, we're a part of Northern Coalition. Hopefully for the foreseeable future. Everything seems to be good for us here so far. But yeah, come reach out to us if you want to learn how to play EVE. Like I said, between me and Tongue alone, we have at least almost 40 to 50 years of experience on this game. Tack on whatever bullshit that we've taught Impy and whatever other bullshit Andre knows, and whatever bullshit we're teaching these new recruits. You know, we got tons of stuff that we can show you about this game. Make money, have fun, hang out, and even if EVE isn't your shit, you know, or if you're kind of feeling a little burnt out, we play other games too. Essentially, we just a bunch of dudes that hang out, get stoned, get drunk, and just have ourselves a good time, and hopefully blow something up or watch ourselves blow up in the process. But thanks for hanging out with us. I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and we're probably going to go do something. I'm not sure. We'll figure something out. So, have yourselves a good day. Say bye, boys.
Hey.
Cheers for listening.
Ciao, everybody.